browser. The reason is we'll be doing SSH into a lot of devices, and it helps because we're using public and private key certificate, and especially for folks who are not on Mac, it makes it simple. Because otherwise in PuTTY you need to go add the key, convert into PuTTY and all those things. Yeah, so it makes it a lot more. And so best thing is you can open Firefox and you can install a tool called FireSSH. It's a plugin for Firefox, and that way it's very simple. You can just download the key and just upload it, and it kind of works directly. And once you are done with it, just go through the go into this portal. I will give you your username and password. Okay.
Do you have screenshots for everything, or if I want to follow, I'll have to?
Yeah, I mean, this is more of like a. I mean, you can actually purchase and do the same thing. It's just that they're giving it. So since you are here, if you are interested, I can give you a credential as well. You can just try it out maybe once after you go back to it. So, yeah. I mean, just try it because we'll also get some feedback in terms of people using it. So, if you want, you can reset it.
This now so slow.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's unfortunately that's not in my control. So yeah. There's a lot of people trying to
Everyone's
access
on the
stuff.
internet.
Yeah.
After you added the plugin, as I said, where you can find it?
It will open up automatically. So I will show you how to do that.
Automatically?
Yeah, it will come. Yeah, it's
So, username and password?
yeah, I'll give you that. So all of you are on that link, right? So we have so the usernames will be card build. So I can start from here. You will card build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? The password and the username is the same. So you are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So card build 4 is the user. I mean, if you are card build 4, your username and password is the same.
Okay.
So just log in. So let me log out and log in. Okay. So have you guys logged in?
I'm downloading Firefox right now.
Yeah, that's fine. So
It's taking a while. Everybody got a nice hot spot here?
yeah, I thought they had. Is the internet? Is there any other internet we can use over here?
I just copy as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm using. Probably you guys can use. There's something called as Call, which is in small caps. Maybe try that. It seemed fast for me. So.
Yes.
Yeah, that just put /30.
See if that's
What's the name of the extension?
Fire SSH.
And the username again?
Card build 4. You're 4.
I'm 4.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's fine. I mean, if you're not able to complete it, as I said, you have complete step-by-step instructions. So you can obviously go back and do it by end of today. Right? Yeah. So just we wanted to give you a feel of this so that you can also get some feedback around how important or useful it is for you guys. Right? I think you already have Firefox, right?
No.
So this is Chrome.
Crochet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's really.
Okay. So please log in to the. If you have logged in, just click on learning history. You should see that there is already a card services framework which has been launched for you guys, right? So that makes it a lot more simple. And you can just click on the labs part of over here. The labs. You are basically in the lab part. And if you come down, right? So don't worry about the other guys. You just can log in and repeat the information. So if you see here, so remember I said there are going to be 7 virtual machines, right? You have the machine, right? If you see, each one of you have the same IP address for accessing them, and if you see the SSH port is different, right? So that's the reason is we have what is called as a NAT gateway in front of it, because we cannot give public IPs to everyone. So and then we do a NAT translation. So basically, depending upon the port, you kind of go into different VMs, right? So you will.
This is the load balancer.
Which one? It's just.
Is this a load balancer IP address or?
Uh, no, this is our router. So we have a large router which basically does the
Carrier
NAT.
grade NAT.
Yeah, it's a NAT. It's a dynamic NAT manager, and then you basically have all these elements, right? So now there are a couple of components which you can feel free to understand basically as we move past. So there's something called as SSH access which you can refer to, or otherwise you can do what is called as download your key, right? So remember, as I said, all of the instructions is done via the public and private key pair, right? So each one of you have your own private keys, so you can download your key. So the reason is we don't want to use passwords is because we are on open internet and it has access. The last time we enabled passwords, it got hacked. See, I mean, people just randomly tried like all of those things, and someday it just hit and they got it. So we moved everything to public and private key pair. So which makes it slightly cumbersome to access, but at least nobody's going to install Bitcoin miners on these things, right? And that's what we have here.
True.
Like on learning history.
My course that is a big complainer.
Yeah, that's what they did.
That's
Actually.
probably what they did,
So
right?
they went in. And they went and they didn't hack anything else. They just went in and installed a Bitcoin miner, and suddenly we started seeing like nothing is working. It's all sluggish, slow, and everything. And then we go in and see that.
Oh my word.
We couldn't even remove it. It was like the moment you remove it, there was some hidden cron job which basically
keep
put
on
it back.
spawning
So
up,
we
yeah.
had to do a lot of
Close it, account. Close account.
Yeah.
What is the Firefox,
Yeah, Fire SSH.
Fire?
Yeah, I'll come to that. So the way you would do it is download your key, right? So you can, just save the file anywhere else. Now, to log in using Fire SSH, you can do 2 things. One is you can open up the browser and do SSH : and type, let's say if I want to access to the gateway router, I'll do this : and
What's the port number, right?
yeah, that's the port.
Put port number together, right?
Yeah. So,
Got it.
okay, once you do that,
Yeah, okay.
it basically asks for you to log in. The password will be Ubuntu, the username, sorry. There's no password. You use the key which I have downloaded, and
Easy enough.
yeah, and then press OK. And you say yes. And you're ready. Okay? So let me, guys for not in that, let me help you.
Just question.
Okay, any reason?
So if you download Fire SSH,
Yeah, it will help you to make it easy. You can use putty and stuff like that as well. I don't understand. Is this in French?
Yeah, in French.
Okay.
There's a better connection that is you can use that.
Do you have putty or something?
Yeah.
Maybe you can download Putty.
What's the criteria network URL for the lab again?
It's enterprise.criterionnetworks.com/criterion. So now what we will do is, so let's start the exercise so that you now know how to access the portal. So the first component what we are going to do is basically understand the exhaust overview as such. So you can read through the entire process. There's a complete text around what exactly is exhaust, some of these elements.
What we tell this,
So
to the XF overview, right?
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So you can just go ahead and read through some of these elements to get a complete understanding of the exhaust itself, right? So let me just do a quick walkthrough. So you are you able to access using Fire SSH?
Yes.
What about you? Okay, so that's fine. I mean, you can do it later. You can try SSH. Just open up SSH colon dash dash. Yeah, then go here. Go to this place. You can copy paste the IP address along with the port.
And Ubuntu, no password, but provide the key.
Yeah, just the key down there.
Yeah, put it here. Now put it here. Control V. Press enter. Oh, you don't have. Oh, you're not installed Fire SSH, is it? You need to check Fire SSH and install. Just type Fire SSH and see if it's installed. Okay.
Where's the URL for the lab again?
This is the lab.
No, I know, but for the SSH portion?
Oh, the SSH portion, you can just type SSH colon. Go here, come down. Yeah. So you have to come down. This is the key. You downloaded the key?
I see.
Okay, come down.
Oh.
You have the.
Thanks.
Just paste it over here. Oops. You
Oh.
put that gap there. SSH colon. Yeah. Now Ubuntu
Lowercase?
and no password. Then browse the private key.
Yeah.
And here this one.
That's it right
Yeah.
here?
Okay. Yes.
There you go.
Okay. So follow the step-by-step instruction, right? The first place is essentially helping you guys to understand this. So since you can obviously read about this, so your record bit one. Okay, so you have a step-by-step instruction, so you can actually read through all of this information at your own pace, so that we don't look at it. So we have the complete overview. You can understand what a slice means, what an instance means, what a network means, right? Because this is very important in terms of COD, right? Because when you open the exhaust GUI, this is what you will be seeing: the different slices, the different infrastructure elements. So I'm just going to rest through it a little bit. So if you can see here, so exhaust is going to be actually sitting. It's going to talk to both the components, right? Now exhaust, if you know, is basically the service orchestrator, right? So it is going to do the complete orchestration among both the elements, right? Now it needs to talk to the OpenStack for bringing up the VM, and then it will talk to the ONOS to basically push in the necessary routes to do that. So it basically talks to both OpenStack and ONOS. Now if you come down, with exhaust itself has a lot of containers in it, right? So what are the different containers if you see? We have something called as exhaust core, which is actually the core container for the platform, which contains the model and everything else. We have a database, which is the PostgreSQL, right, which has the data model complete, like your service graph, service description is present over there. We have Redis to basically act as a pops up kind of a thing. And then we have the Tosca interface. So remember, in Exhaust, whenever you want to create any user definition or anything else, you do it by using Tosca, right? So you upload the Tosca file into the Exhaust, and basically it automatically creates all your interface rather than going into the GUI and clicking next. So that is the Tosca interface. Then you have the northbound GUI. If you whatever you are opening up, that is the GUI. And then this is the event listener. So and then you have the Chameleon, which is basically the REST interface manager, right? So it kind of redirects based on the the URL path, right? So
I don't see this one again.
so if you just press next, come down.
Oh, next.
Next, yeah. And then so just follow through the next right next that process. That's it. So on this one you can see how it works. And if you see, one of the main important components is the synchronizer, right? What is the job of a synchronizer? It is basically talking to the different southbound devices. So for XOS, what is the southbound? It is either OpenStack and ONOS. So whenever you create some kind of in the GUI, you go and create a subscriber, you're going to create a new vSG slice or anything, it is basically coming to the exhaust core. And from the exhaust core, it is coming to the synchronizer. The synchronizer will then actually talk to the ONOS, OpenStack or the VNFs themselves. So you will see an ONOS synchronizer, you will see an OpenStack synchronizer, and what is the VNF we are trying to use? Virtual network function here is the virtual service gateway. And you will see a synchronizer for the vSG as well. So the first thing what it will do is it will talk to the OpenStack, create the necessary users, ports and everything else in OpenStack. Then it will bring up the virtual machine itself. And once it brings up the virtual machine, it will talk to the ONOS to basically configure the flows into the compute node, right? Into the switch, into the this, right? So ONOS here has two components. One is called the VTN, which is the virtual tenant networking, which will configure the open vSwitch in the compute node. Another is called the fabric, which configures the OpenFlow rules into the actual switch, which connects to that, right? So that is the two components. Once it is done, and once you bring up the VNF, the Virtual Service Gateway VM, inside the VNF, for each of your S tag and C tag, basically there is a container created. Now that container is a configuration again, which is created by the vSG synchronizer. So basically they communicate among themselves and they spin up a new container inside, and specific rules are added into it. That kind of provides you the community, right? So this is entirely the overall process around how it actually works. So now you can click on next. So you can all launch the Exhaust GUI, which is simple enough to launch and play with, right? So you have the username, passwords right here. So username is Exhaust admin, or
Username is what?
it's right here for you. If you see here,
okay.
Let me in.
let me in as the password. So if you see, this is 3.0. If you see the differentiation between 3.0 and 4.0 is the interface is black in color, right? So that's what they have changed, right? So, so you can see a couple of elements. So you see the first thing what you see is something called as a site, right? So what's a site? A site is something which is local to your environment. So if you go and click on my site, you will see for that specific site you can actually customize different behavior. So you can add monitoring, you can add service capability and all these things. For now, we have enabled only one dashboard, which is called the tenant dashboard, right? So you can configure the tenancy in
So
the.
can we go there, create a slice?
Yeah, you don't need to create a slice.
Here. Which one you got?
It must.
So this is first is the tenant site. Under the site you have slices, basically the different networks.
Yes.
Gets created. Yeah.
So click this one.
Yeah. This is the public. I'll come to that. I'm not yet come to this place.
I don't get those.
But this is under customize.
Uh,
So you can follow this step by step here. Right. So here you see all the snapshots. Okay.
So which one is as a sort makes sense?
Okay. So you can go here, go up, start exercises. No, you already have it, right? So come down. So you yeah, click on launch. Yeah, launch. And you can log in using here username password is present. Username password. Okay. So just explore the dashboard. You have the snapshot which is present in our portal itself. So you can first go through the slice. You can check what the slice contains of. So if you go through the slice, under the deployment, you will see something called as the vSG, right? Which is the actual image which you are loading. So if you click on deployments here, you can see my deployment. If you click on this, you can see that this is the available image which you have for the my vSG container. So this is by default loaded into the what? Into the OpenStack. Yeah, it is not yet launched, right? Then you have the VNF. The VNF, yeah. This is the VNF. Right?
VSG, virtual service.
Virtual service gateway. Yeah,
On the VNF.
yeah, VNF.
And click
Yeah.
choose.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's already there. I mean, you don't need to. It's just for
Okay.
running through some of those elements, right? And these are the three networks we create, right, in the slices. So we have something called as the public. We have vSG, and we have my site management, right? What it means is the my site vSG is basically the one which is the data connectivity for the virtual service gateway itself, right? So you have, whenever your clients will access, they will basically access via the my vSG, what? My vSG network. Now, in the my vSG management is basically how the XOS will try to access your VNF to configure the container inside. So there are two networks which you will have. One is this and one is the other one. And the third one is basically the public site. So once your traffic enters your VNF, it needs to exit out. And for exit out, you have the public connectivity, which has the internet connection.
Real internet connection.
Yeah, this is a real internet connection. So basically, this goes out into the internet.
So for your whole lab, physically, do you have physical switch, white box fix or white box?
I don't have any switches. I don't
Just
even,
server.
Just VMs. I don't even have the servers. I mean, I have servers, and we create a overlay kind of a mechanisms to bring up these
Overlay, right?
Yeah, overlay. Yeah. So the overlay is the switch. It's a Linux switch basically.
So all the switch you are using the virtual switch.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So then you can click on next. So you can understand more along the services, right? So the first thing is you can access the OpenStack. So if you see here, so if you need to SSH into OpenStack XOS controller 1 node, right? And then you can try to run some of the commands here, and you can see that basically it automatically is one user called as XOS admin is created. Now this is something which we don't create. It is created by whom? By the XOS controller, because that's how it will use this tenancy to create the rest of the objects, right? So how do you access into this? As I mentioned, your OpenStack XOS controller 1, you have the IP address over here in the labs. So which one? OpenStack XOS CTRL1 node. take this IP, follow the same process, access it. So try that, right? So for you, since you are not able to do that, can you now, have you downloaded the, yeah. So first is, you need to take, yeah, the SSH key needs to be converted. So that is one more. So one second, can you, so this is very problematic in,
Still, Ubuntu, no password, and also use that.
yeah, the same. Okay, same. Can you open that up? So you need to first give me this.
Yes, got it. The controller one.
Yeah.
Exhaust controller.
Yeah, it's just, they try to, you're already in his root, they try to issue another pseudo and return it.
But there are a lot of process running on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We don't have website running. H2. Python.
Alright, now that works good.
What is using the password for that?
Ubuntu, no password.
Ubuntu, no password.
Conditional
You just
access.
upload the key.
Ubuntu.
Did I save it? So,
UBUNTU.
yeah, yeah, that's fine. I think they saved it.
Yeah.
No password.
Now
Choose
open this mouse.
the private key.
Oh,
Yeah.
The private key we download. You download the private key.
Now can you open the
Then
key?
you can download the
Open
private
the
key.
So you can type.
So I'm confused. Your company is providing the training or class for customer or provide a solution for your potential customer?
So we do both, basically. So right now, part is in a state where in which it is little bit not yet mature enough for.
Yeah, so that means not one go, just training.
Yeah, right now it's learning and so. So we have other companies like for our SD-WAN and some of these things where we are doing, people are using for.
Maybe a lot of customer from their SD-WAN
Yeah,
or NAV, the customers
choosing part.
using your
Yes,
environment to
yes, yes.
get some knowledge.
Yeah. You're on slow network connection.
Yes.
So you can copy this entire thing.
Okay, so we got
All
the
right.
normally.
Yeah, then we can it's very complex.
Yeah.
So this is XOSCP1, right?
Yeah.
It's controller one. There's a controller one.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
control.
It's slow actually.
Good, so it's
No, you're not slow one.
Oh yeah.
because you got the bandwidth right now, straight.
Which Wi-Fi are you using? I'm using the core build speakers.
Oh, yeah, give us that.
No, the computer automatically choose, right?
Somehow I figure there's less people on
I
that
just
network.
ran out of the card.
Yeah,
It's
just
okay.
want to touch it.
Yeah.
Will you reach it?
Yeah, sure.
Where
If
is
you're interested in some of these.
He said he connects
Okay,
to it.
sure. So if you're interested, I can give you a username for accessing it.
Actually, I just tried Cord 9 and it was working.
Okay. So you can try
Yeah, I'll
out.
pass it
It will
on.
be so.
I'm not
Yeah.
the right guy, but I'll pass it on
Now it's
Yeah.
to one of my other guys who's here.
Okay. Cool.
You guys have
Yeah, available till.
charger again.
I'll
So
reach
now
out.
my
What I didn't
cell phone,
understand was how did
no
you
charge. I'll run out of battery.
SSH key in the first place?
It's there.
Yeah, so if you click that, what's it gonna do?
It's just gonna download it.
So
Yeah.
Keystone.
And then when you try to SSH later, it's kind of like problems.
Keystone is not installed.
Did you switch VMs when you were doing those commands? It has you switch between them.
Yeah, no, I opened up the separate SSH to the XOS controller.
So Keystone should be on.
Keystone should be running on the
XOS.
controller one.
Yeah.
Which I'm connected to,
Did you source the command
It
before
was the
you
only thing that
Yeah,
I know
so
you
sure.
probably ask me.
It's super slow now.
Yeah, you gotta source, OpenRC admin.
So are you guys, at least for the guys who are doing,
Yeah, that's
you were able to
that's
set some of the,
That's-
the users?
That's the,
Yes, I can access the server.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
now network is
So
so
maybe-
slow.
network is slow, everyone is.
RC.
Oh, okay, so,
So
This
we'll
one's-
do that right now.
yeah, yeah, you can do terminal, and you're on Mac, so that's easy to
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to do that.
And.
Oh, can you give me
Mobile.
a drop again? Because otherwise.
Yeah, do, that could be their source.
So, can you
RC
install
infrastructure.
Fire SSL?
I did, I'm doing that on this, I'm getting all sorts, so maybe mine is, the source, right?
Yep.
Open, RC,
Oh my goodness.
and, right?
Yeah.
No such file.
You might have changed out of that during,
No, I'm still.
they're still home?
I'm still home. And it's XOS controller. That's why. You're in open start, I'm in home.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That would do it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Is the running IP?
I'm trying to run open stack commands on mobile. I gotta tell you.
It's gonna be a level playing field because I can't get,
Okay.
Okay.
key commands.
Okay, thanks. I'll share that, yeah, password with you. It's only valid today.
Yeah, yeah, it's valid.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
stuff.
No, that's great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll reach out to you.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so I think the internet is not allowing folks to do it.
So you're gonna leave this lab up for like 24 hours though?
Yeah, so at least
Okay,
you can
yeah.
basically do it till tomorrow, if you guys. So, would be nice to get your feedback. So at the end of the,
Yeah.
basically once you complete the lab, it basically pops up for a feedback. Just fill in if you want to see something, and if you're more interested, you can just drop by your emails or something. I can reach out to you folks and, see if you guys are interested for a.
How many customers can you serve simultaneously?
Any.
No.
I mean, it's, so by default we have totally like, so it depends on how many of them. So at max we have served close to like 40, 50
For the 50 customers.
customers, yeah.
Okay.
And each one running around 700, 800 VMs at par.
Oh, wow.
So right now we are running close to, so not only this, we have the guys who have purchased the program and running it. So totally we have close to now 800 and 850 VMs running.
So where is your VM? In the public cloud or in the
So we
private?
have built our own cloud.
You private cloud?
It would have
It's
to.
not like a private cloud, it's like a mix. So I take bare metals
Yeah.
from companies across the globe, and I have built, we have our own overlay
Overlay.
cloud, which
On top
is
of
spread across the globe.
Build
So
it.
depending upon
Being
if you're
from-
coming in from, let's say Japan or somewhere else, we actually can spin it up
Yeah.
on the region in Japan. So like that, so we split
Oh,
it.
yeah, because Amazon would be too
Yeah.
costly.
Amazon is extremely
They
costly.
could never do this.
So we actually take the back, and we give you that because we are able to provide, going forward, we'll have the suspend and resume kind of a thing. So that Amazon will not provide me that kind of facility. So that is one thing which. Yeah. So-
Very good service.
Yeah, so at least it helps for folks
Oh.
to get a lot of things. So do try it out. I mean, if you're on a faster internet, and as I said, so there are some people who are able to access, some people who are not able to. But at least I hope all of you understood how to access it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please do try it out. So I'll try to keep it online for the next. At
Do you
least.
have a question? Can we
At least
send you
tomorrow.
email or?
Yeah, you can. So
Yeah,
I
do you
can
have-
probably just type my email address. You can just, if you are interested for more.
Yeah, you got a mistake in one of the docs.
EVENKAESH.
Yeah, just drop me a mail, right? So if you face any issues, if you didn't like something, if you said, hey, maybe something should be changed or any of these things, please do let me know. It's a work in progress for us as well, and we try to make that happen, right?
This one.
call it like XOS control?
Yes.
Why do you call it, why do you call it XOS?
I'm just putting because it's called, right? So we have different, it's just a host name. So in the OpenStack controller, there's only the Nova Neutron stuff running. There's no XOS running. There's an XOS1 node which only does XOS. So the name is basically we have used XOS because it so that we can isolate this for part.
Just not the
Yeah. Because we have to differentiate. We are also offering a OpenStack service which is separately. So we have different parts. So we offer OpenContrail, OpenStack, and all these things. So we to differentiate from us when we do the debugging. So we have kept the host name separately. So if we take OpenStack, then there is also an OpenStack node where only OpenStack services are there. So it's okay. So I think we have time till 4, but anyway, you guys can write out till that later. Any questions you guys had, or that would be.
Will it be open at one night?